Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's March 26th, 2013, and actually I'm going to do a couple of videos today. You'll see this one and then you'll see another one a little bit later in a little different location, and you'll understand why I'm going to do that second one after you see it. But let's get into some things that are going on right now that I think are kind of important. The first is that there was a police exercise in Albany, New York. They didn't tell anybody they were going to do it. They came in full combat tactical gear, took over an apartment building, and told the residents that if they came out of their apartments or tried to access their apartments, they would be arrested. And this is for real. These people were taken completely off guard. They had no idea what was going on. This is the type of military police state that we're entering, that these cops and these military people can do any damn thing they want and they don't have to pay the price. That your liberties mean nothing, that they are the jackboot thug tyrants. Now the police department after that said, well, it was a miscommunication, the people didn't get the information. It doesn't matter. Even if they had told them to do that in a place where people are living and to tell them that they have no rights to go in and out of their homes, this is becoming far too commonplace. And it's time for it to stop. This is turning into Nazi Germany, into Stasi East Germany. It's turning into the Stalinist Russia. Actually, you know, in a lot of ways, we're already worse than that. I'm impassioned today. Okay, I'll try to calm down a little bit. If you want to see that story, you go online and you look up timesunion.com. Okay, timesunion.com. The story's today, March 26th, 2013. Okay, a major weapon that manufacturers are doing with DHS to prevent them from getting, you know, weapons and things. And this goes along with other firearms manufacturers and other government agencies that are anti-Second Amendment. They're refusing to sell to them. So, you know, what has happened is that the guns, while they're still available to the public, the ammunition is not. Okay? So DHS has not had any ammunition manufacturers that I know at this point refuse to sell to them, which is really the next step that needs to happen. The DHS now, it's come out, is pretty certain. Not only are they stocking up against the American people, but they're also deliberately taking these ammunition supplies off the market so that you and I can't get them. So it's a de facto defeat of the Second Amendment. You know, a firearm without a bullet is a club. So this is just another thing they're doing. They're using your tax money to do this, okay? So they're using your tax money to war against you. It's wrong. Back on the Cyprus thing, you already know probably by now how bad that's getting. The banks aren't open. The people aren't being able to get their money out. The Euro head has said that this is going to happen all over Europe and eventually come to the United States. Okay? Russia somehow, I kind of admire this. They saw this thing coming or knew that it was going to happen, and somehow the Russian oligarch billionaires, probably with the help of the Russian government, somehow, through some back door in the banking system that I'm not certain I understand right now, got their money out of there before the EU got a hold of it. Frankly, I think it's brilliant. I got to say one up on the Russians on this one. The unfortunate thing, of course, is the people with the big money got out safe, pretty much. But the little people are getting hurt. They can't access their accounts. They can't get out but about 100 euros a day. And it's just going to turn into a nightmare there. The only hope that Cyprus has, they were hoping that Russia would help them out and that they would give their gas and oil fields over to the Russians. That's not going to happen. The EU is going to take it. However you look at this whole thing, it's all wrong. It's all evil and satanic. Pardon for the wind. I'm in a place where the wind is a little bit of a problem. I want you to know about a site that you should probably check. It's called freedomoutpost.com. Freedom Outpost, all lowercase, all rammed together. freedomoutpost.com. I think you might like that. I don't normally talk much about certain sites here, but I think I like that one, so maybe you should go check it out. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about this this situation with Jim Carey and his assault on Charleton Heston. Carleton Heston, a lot of people say it different ways. But I don't want to do it here. I'm going to do it elsewhere where I can really do it justice. But just so you know, this little bull flatulence, I don't even know what to call him. Bull flatulence person. I'm not even sure I want to call him a man. To talk about the way he did about Charlton Heston is an insult to every liberty-loving American and everybody who knows anything about decency. And I'm going to address that a little bit later. Suffice it to say, right now, I want you to know I'm never watching another Jim Carrey movie, and anything that I have that he has anything to do with, I'm chucking. I'm getting rid of it. I'm going to burn it. That's how angry I am about, desecrating the memory of a man who's dead, number one. Number two, he stood up for true liberty. Whether you like guns or not, that's tough luck. That's what won the American Revolution. I don't like that. I wish there was another way around it, but tyrants don't understand anything but brute force. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. Okay, I want to jump into something spiritual real quick, end on that. I want to point out something in history, okay? Well, in the Bible. You might remember in Genesis, it talks about Nimrod, okay? It was after the flood, and Nimrod was the big power guy at the time. And he and his elites decided to build the Tower of Babel, okay? Why did they do that? They were trying to approach God. They were trying to become God. They were trying to overcome God's judgments. And they were evil people, according to the story anyway. So the point is they were trying to extend their lives and overcome the judgment of God. Okay? Look what these elites are doing today. I don't know if you know the whole story, but one of the things that they're doing is they're about 50 years ahead of us in medical technology, life extension technology, and it has something to do with their talk in their books and their papers about merging with the machine, kind of like bionic men, but it's more than that. It's more like the Terminator type thing. But whatever exactly it'll turn out to be, the point is they want to escape ultimate death by making themselves merge with these, what they consider to be immortal machines, to make themselves immortal and to become gods. Ray Kurzweil talks a lot about that, okay, if you look into that. What's my point? My point is that they're doing the same thing. That's their modern day Tower of Babel. Just like Nimrod and those guys were trying to approach God, become God, overcome God's judgments, they're doing the same thing. Now, don't get me wrong here. I don't think there's anything wrong with living forever, personally, okay? But are you going to live in your sins? And the people in power always try to push certain things onto you as sins that are not. For instance, the love of a man and a woman. That's not a sin. Okay? So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about doing evil to others. Okay? You don't want to live in your sin doing that. The original sin wasn't a sexual sin between Adam and Eve. That's all I'll say about that. It was another problem, but I don't want to get into that. Anyway, so the fact of the matter is that living forever is a good thing, but God has his own plan for that. Now, we as mortals can, I guess, attempt to do that at our level because we don't know everything. Our knowledge is limited. So it's okay to go there, but what is your purpose in doing that? Okay? If it's to destroy the rest of mankind so that just a handful of you are left, got to think about that one. Okay, so this gets into some more deep conversation, which I won't do to you right now, but just be aware that the elites look at themselves as building their modern day Tower of Babel with these life extension technologies that they're working on. Okay, they're trying to become God, overcome God, spit in God's eye, and live forever in their evil. Okay, in their evil. Not their mistakes. They're evil. Okay. And I guess what I really want to talk about here too is something you need to do, I would think. You've heard me say before that you need to choose a side. And I know I'm talking to the choir again here. But hopefully other people will see this. I've gotten some nasty grams on my YouTube site here about people who really don't know what they're talking about. A lot of support, but I'll just say this to everybody and pass it on. Okay, I'm not a prophet. I study. I I'm a historian, like I've said before, but there are some self-evident truths, and this is one of them, okay? And it's in the scriptures, but I'm going to talk about it this way. I don't care if you're evil or if you're good. Why would I say that? Because if you choose a side, you're going to find out whether it's right or wrong. You won't find out anything if you try to stay neutral, to let all this pass by without any decision on your part, any standing up for one side or the other. So I'm telling you, or asking you, I can't tell you, ask you today, choose, just like Joshua said in Genesis, or in the book of Exodus, choose you this day who you will serve. The devil, evil, or God, liberty. And yes, it is that division, okay? You decide today who you serve. You have to pick evil or good. You may not look at evil as evil, okay? But pick a side. It's getting real clear now. You go with the government, you go with the evil, you go with the usurpation of individual liberty, the destruction of life, the destruction of people's liberty, or you choose the other side. You do everything you can to stand up for that. That really is the division that's being described to you on this plane right now. It really is that simple. The devil's plan, I will tell you everything to do. I will run your life every day. I will make your choices for you. Or God's side, I give you your free will to find out for yourself what the truth is. I give you liberty. Don't abuse it. Yeah, there's a caution there, but there's also that fine line, okay? All right. So, as God said in Isaiah, I would that ye be hot or cold, but because ye are lukewarm, I will spew thee out of my mouth. God can't work with you if you don't make a decision. Okay? You can make the decision to go evil because you may not understand it. But if it's not in your nature, God will work with you and bring you back to the good side. All right? So make a choice. And you've got to do it soon. All right? Okay, enough here. I have a presentation I'm going to give a little bit later. In the next video for you, there won't be much time difference. You could just click on it. For me, I'll have to go make the other one. So I appreciate you listening. The next one will be really impassioned. You may not remember it when I first started. I'm going to read it. But after I'm done, it will become very obvious where those statements come from. Hey, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.